I slumped face up. Hagana didn't say anything else. But whether in my dreams or in the back of my mind, I felt rather refreshed to have said it all. Also, it was huge that Hagana didn't outright reject or laugh at the idea. I felt my body warm up, and once sleepiness set in, I moved my hand. I reached out for Hagana's hand as it was wrapped around her legs and held on lightly. For a moment, Hagana's body shrank back, but she did not try to shake me off. We slept just like that. Much like how the moon and earth were tied together by gravity, that thin line connected Hagana and me together securely. The next day, Hagana and I decided what we were going to do. Hagana was not going to look at her own terminal. It was because she knew she had done all that she needed to do. So that was left to be at my side, watching the results. But that did not mean that she would not be of any use. She had to be there. She belonged there. It's game time. The instant training began, I mumbled that to myself while Hagana nodded silently. On the last day of the investment contest, there were red letters across the trading screen saying just that. The time until 5 p.m. was counting down, stirring things up for the participants. The number of participants dwindled even more than it did yesterday, it seemed. Looking at the entire marketplace, stock prices largely did not change. Instead, the trade volume of stocks was completely different from before. Buying and selling. It was something that happened when a buyer and seller appeared. They were like fish struggling in a largely dried up lake, trying to find water to swim in. And I saw something different being projected. I've seen it in a film once, a scene where fish are swimming together in the oceans of the earth. A net is raised, and a large catch of squirming fish are caught. A big haul. People from Earth, which had a long history, had managed to craft out a wonderful phrase. How? I know. I just looked at the clusters of other stocks, but maybe she was uneasy that I wasn't looking at the stock we decided on. I had complete faith in the data Hagana had calculated. If the great majority of margin buying ended up falling for the most part, or failing for the most part, then even without looking at the price fluctuations I'd know. Filled with that much self-confidence, there was serenity in my mind at that moment. We just need 90 million rules, right? We have 270 million rules right now. So the amount of capital we can put up is 780 million rubles. It isn't a small amount, but it isn't perfect either. If we started right off the bat, we'd be done for. The rest was like a game of rock, paper, scissors, except that it let you cheat and show your hand after everyone else. Even if you didn't know who put out the order, the screen constantly displayed the number of orders and completed trades. If one watched the same stock patiently, it became very transparent which participants were involved and how much capital they threw in. When aiming for a fraction of a percent, you really could almost picture the face of your opponent's psychological warfare ramped up. Right now, the fish were squirming back and forth. Especially on the last day of the contest, where there were people who couldn't reach the top ranks no matter how hard they tried. These people would most likely act irrationally in desperation. They had to wait until they tired themselves out. People like that were mostly playing this like a game. In gaming, if one were to play after losing motivation, interest would wane quickly. The thing that should be of concern are the ones who were thinking they could profit by taking positions opposite to ours. If I just dashed off and threw in too much money, a stock at, for example, 1,000 rubles, would just pop up to 1,200 rubles. If that happened, the sellers would close in, and certainly a lot of them would sell at 1,200, I suppose. Those holding onto the stock would sell at a high price with a smile on their face. Margin sellers would write a 1,200 rule selling price on their position list, and if it fell, then the fall would lead to profits for them. On the other hand, were we to hold on to stocks bought at the price of 1,200 rubles each, we have no choice but to take a stand and drain our funds. Basically, the only thing I could do now was pray like Lusa. We're certain to lose. To win, we had to make the opposite happen. So we waited patiently. Within the marketplace, those who ran out of time alongside those who had lost interest probably left, leading to the continuing decrease in trading. Where are your axes, man? It's just sloppy graph making. The water that traders needed to swim in was very rapidly drying up in the marketplace. In technical terms, normally it would be said that liquidity had dried up. If there weren't other others to trade with, the smallest of others can cause the prices to fluctuate wildly up or down. But if the price went up, then sellers would surge forth, and when the price went down, buyers would surge forth. I waited. As the red letters denoting the time left until the end of the investment contest continued to change as time elapsed, I did nothing and waited. Black Chocolate Corporate was a company that had a low trade volume. It wasn't a gathering spot for the ones flailing around, but it also wasn't totally ignored either. This is probably because of the large amount of margin volume involved with it. It was from those who were still trading, or perhaps those who had already left the marketplace. Without knowing that, you could follow its trend. There was a feeling that any possible movement would be large. Given that atmosphere should have brought in more interest, yet it wasn't really well traded. I always made sure to close all positions 10 minutes before the markets closed. In the marketplace, the last 10 minutes was where the demons lurked. But right now, I instead had decided to become the demon. The 760 million rubles of capital at my disposal was a large sum of money, even for the imaginary marketplace. Even for the guy behind me in third place, obstructions and chaos in the marketplace cost him at least 110 million rubles of capital, leaving him with less than 300 million in leverage funds. On top of that, excluding myself and Mr. Troche, the numbers of positions changed furiously in a great war. At times there would be someone pulling upwards and ranking like a fish surging forth in a flash of brilliance to rise up, and then more quickly dropping and sinking further. For someone to look at the rankings, it would not be too strange for somebody with a misconception that I was done with trading. I didn't make any moves, partly also to feed those misconceptions. With the morning trading finished, I ate the food Lisa prepared, and then I waited quietly. Not once did Hagana open her mouth to say anything. An hour later the market opened, and we went in to observe. A share of Black Chocolate Corporate went up in value by 9 moles versus the previous day and was now traded at 812 moles. The total trade volume for this morning was slightly over 42,000 shares. In other words, no more than about 32 million moles of capital that moved. Looking at the margin trading balance, for the most part there was no movement. About time to stir things up. I muttered to myself as I entered a market order for 3,000 shares. Within the dizzying pace of the trading board that I had been monitoring up until that point, I could feel the rumblings of a disturbance coming. It was the sound of a giant whale swimming. Keen-minded individuals probably felt it. After hesitating on my order, there was an agreement, and the share price became 813 moles. And then, as if acting in concert, someone also sold 3,000 shares. 812 moles. The fish were gathering. For the most part, these were the thinker types. The time slowly became 2 o'clock, a little less time than 3 hours ago. A little less than 3 hours ago. Oh, a little less than 3 hours to go. Within a span of about 5 minutes, I made market orders for 2,000 shares, and then 3,000 shares. Drawn by that sound, the trade volume slowly started to rise. Sellers and buyers were gathering, and it looked like the sellers were prevailing slightly as the market price became 810 moles. Though the tens mark acted as an obstruction, the sellers slowly started to eat away at that barrier. Soon it was 3 o'clock, and on the trading screen there was an announcement from the contest sponsors. 2 hours remained. Everyone was trying to do something or another with the remaining time. Though it was obvious enough, that alone was enough to cause some commotion. As the trade volume went up another tick, I made my move. It looked like she wanted to say something as I became aware that she was looking at me. But I ignored her and continued to stare at the screen. 3:17. The commotion from the announcement died down and everyone took a moment to take a deep breath. In one stroke, I made a market order for 100,000 shares. Roughly 80 million moves, 10% of the amount I could trade with. Naturally, for a buy order such as that, there wouldn't be enough sell orders to accommodate it. Each sell order coming one after another, the price suddenly raced upward. 811, 812, 813, 815, 818. The price kept moving upwards, and from time to time it would match with someone's sell order. Owing to a quirk of the trade system, perhaps, the upward swing would only stop for an instant. It was certainly enough to wake up anyone who was asleep at the wheel. It started. I laughed with a complacent smile. Up until then, 100 shares, 200 shares, and at most 3,000 and 4,000 were transacted. Before things suddenly went up another order of magnitude. Water. There's water here. The fish came seeking a place to swim, and as spot where they gathered became the water for other fish as more and more were drawn to it. 20,000 shares sold, 10,000 shares bought, 5,000 bought, 7,000 sold. The seller's advantage. If you looked at the margin trading balance, it was proceeding naturally. If the price went up, margin buyers would come selling things off in a hurry. Before that happened, one would sell. It would sell and run at a high price. People thinking that way were numerous. The ones scrambling to sell would continue to increase. 813, 811, 810, 810, 810, 809. I thought I heard the sound of Agana curling her hands into fists, but maybe I was imagining things. The tens barrier was broken. 808, 807, 806. The price continued to fall. The push from momentum brought along other traders who caught wind of it, and systematically they also came together. 804, 802, 800. At the hundreds mark, the buy orders increased by 200,000. The raging assault pounded that mark relentlessly. If that wall fell, the price would continue to fall. If the buyers were to ride this out, then selling would become more difficult, as the buyers supported that level fervently. The offense and defense continued as I pressed a key. Longer was fine with winning rolls. I felt like I was calling the shots from a tank. A buy order of 200,000 shares by a single person was made. The battle was reversed. Al? I got him up with my name. But it didn't seem to get my attention. Apparently the excess of mental stress was what caused her to mumble pointlessly. I made a sidelong glance and saw Agana staring intently at the terminal, not bothering to look up at all. Last night they said that this trade was for Agana's sake. That time, Agana was really in a panic. That was why Agana was waiting in anticipation. She was awkwardly expectant of the outcome. That awkwardness was because, up to this point in Agana's life, I was sure that she knew all too well that hopes had no meaning. A long time ago, it wouldn't be too out of the question to think that she might have given up on hoping for anything. But it was a boon to have been able to utilize Agana's mathematical prowess for real-world problems, and Agana responded to that. Hope was most definitely not meaningless. If something couldn't be done, do it until it can be done. It was definitely not a meaningless thing. Her face held hope in an almost tragically awkward way, saying that hoping wasn't meaningless. Margin buying has increased. Looks like it was as you had described it. The share price returned 814 rubles. It didn't go any higher because if it increased any more, then sellers would come knocking, knowing that buyers also lie and wait for the price to go down before buying it. Among traders, there must be those who made orders without fully understanding why. Within those, I watched the margin buys closely. More or less there was movement, but not very large movement. And after shaking it so much, if they didn't move, then they must have been mostly dead. Based on calculations, almost 80% should be dead. 80%! Margin debt balance was in total was 1.5 million shares. 80% of that was 920,000 shares. In other words, even if the price goes up and sellers came forth, 200,000 shares would be valued at 160 million rubles. Leftover funds would still be over 500 billion rubles. It should have been doable. Al, the price? As I kind of said it, I looked at the share price. It continued to rise. 815, 816, 817. Someone fairly big had shown up. The sellers issued a challenge, but the buyers showed up and the price headed towards 824. The time was now 4 o'clock. There was 1 hour left. For the ones with little, by the way, as of funds who were thinking of clawing their way to the top ranks by somehow grabbing onto the sudden huge rallies and sell-offs, it must have felt like they only had an hour left to do things. The remaining fish flocked to the stocks with even a little bit of trade value. Black chocolate corporate caught a fair amount of fire, too. After the price rose to 824, in one instant it dropped to 813, and another returned to 824 once more. She looked at that and spoke. Someone else's program has appeared. Perhaps so. The response is too quick, and the way it calls out the prices is too uniform. Like a pinball, the price fluctuated along the same width. Suddenly, the price fluctuation started to move. It was clear that a program like Agano was trained according to the prices derived from the statistical price fluctuations. There was a limit to how fast a human's hands could move, so letting a computer handle things would take profits of less than 1% and repeat hundreds of times, allowing profits to pile up. But in the end, it only worked because there were foolish humans who went along with machines' patterns of trading. Now that was the last day of the contest, the ones who would prey on those who were filtering in. They were the ones who thought things out. The price jumped up to 832 rubles. The program responded and pursued faithfully. Sellers got into the fray, which led to an explosion in trade volume. The time was now approaching 4:30. As expected, Tagano was looking straight ahead of me. Al? I looked at her slowly, and then nodded. Don't get scared. I shrugged my shoulders, then laughed. If you do, then it's over. Again, I waited. I waited fervently. The last 30 minutes, from the viewpoint of those immersed in the marketplace, was when time seemed to go by in a flash. For the most part, people were at their limits, making orders in desperation. That price fluctuation was sending them equally through heaven and hell. It'd be bad if one were to give in to that torrent of emotion. You had to see through to people's intent. For mafia and war films, reckless actions were executed only in the last 10 minutes. The ones who died off easily were the ones who put their lives on the line in the last 30 minutes. 20 minutes. The gun leveled worryingly. The price was 824 rubles. It wasn't exactly a whale, but a sell order for 200,000 shares appeared. I put a buy order up for 300,000 shares. There was a whale. It seemed as if I could hear the voice in the minds of everyone who was participating. Birds that saw the spout of a whale gathered, just like sharks smelling blood in the water gathered. Sellers put out sell orders in a screaming frenzy, but the buyers kept buying mercilessly. Many people understood why the whale appeared on the buy side. The margin dead balance was not sell orders waiting in the wings. They were dead, a dead paper tiger that said nothing. The price crossed over 840 rubles and reached 850. My average stock unit price is 820 rubles, which added up to a grand total of 490 million rubles. If the price went up by less than 4%, that would be 16 million rubles. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough at all. With the remaining 400 million rubles, I had to make up a bit less than 100 million rubles in unrealized gains. Timing. It was timing. I had to become the demon. I must laugh loudly and run past the people who could only stare at their screen dumbfounded, heal out in a half-crazed frenzy, unable to make an order in time. The place to focus on was here. Here it was. I let the time slip by 1 minute after another. 13 minutes remained, 12 minutes, 11 minutes, 10 minutes. I had put out an order. It wasn't time yet. Sellers sold frantically while buyers bought frantically. The margin trading balance changed in a bustling manner. Margin selling was piling up, as was margin buying. Margin buying would collapse. This could work. At the moment I was about to make the final buy order. Hal. Hagana's shout stopped my hand. Hagana's finger pointed at the margin debt balance. Those numbers decreased suddenly. Is it selling? I think it's people who bought earlier are selling it off now. In that case, we had to wait just a bit longer. In order to get the greatest effect, it had to be after selling had stopped. However, a sense of foreboding crept up my spine. Before things took off, the total margin debt balance is 1.05 million shares. After things took off, the part that piled on afterwards was at most 300,000 shares. Despite that, that number had already dropped to 700,000 shares. There's a calculation error in the estimate. Hagana said it as if reading what I was thinking. How much? The square root of that figure, in other words, 100,000 shares. The error range. It was true that any movement had stopped at a bit less than 700,000 shares. Did all those margin buyers decide to sell? Were they anticipating a price drop? 7 minutes left. I had to decide now if I was going to put out an order. The price was at 836 moles. If the number of orders was too great, there was a possibility that the orders wouldn't be agreed upon. That is, the outstanding orders wouldn't be processed and funds would get returned. That was bad. Frankly speaking, it was bad. There was nothing more disgraceful than losing while holding funds. It was the same as those who were so foolish as to be overly cautious and still ended up dead in the water. I I prepared an order with 400,000 shares. What would happen if there was a large number of margin buyers still alive in the game? If that were the case, then we had to hold on until the last minute or we'd get hit by opposing orders. The chance of that was 50-50. No, that's not right. I looked at Hagana. Hagana looked at me quietly. Whether or not I would be able to acquire 200,000 mules wasn't the critical point. Could I trust Hagana's data or not? That was the question. Hagana pressed her lips together tightly and looked at me. Her face was full of anxiety. This trading should have been for Hagana's sake. I loosened up and then spoke. Well then, let's go. I turned to face the screen and then put out an order. Starting at 836 mules, I cut down sell orders like a raging wave. Buy-in soon followed, but since my order had precedence, their speed was not enough. Before long, I pulled away from other buy orders and the price shot up into the sky. 850, 860, 868, 874, 879, 882. The force of my one attack stopped there. But there, the buy orders that couldn't catch up acted as a second wave which pushed the price over. It took my breath away as the price flew up to 895 mules in one go. The average stock unit price was 861 mules, in excess of 900,000 shares. 10% profit from 720 million mules was 70 million mules. Just 20 million mules left to go. The buy-in flooded with 3 minutes remaining. 897, 898, 899, the hundreds barrier. And at that moment when it was surpassed, a new door was being opened for the world. It was that moment as I rated myself for that brilliance. Huh? As the buy order numbers inflated, things stopped. The situation before me was difficult for me to comprehend. Sell orders? What stopped the wave of buy orders was this. 620,000 shares in total. Could there be a lag in the system? Things moved at a horrifically slow and ominous pace, as if a massive meteorite had slammed into a star. Someone has... I mumbled as I immediately looked at the margin debt balance, but it didn't move. A new challenger? If that were the case, then I could just get rid of it all and claim victory. I put out an order with the remaining 100,000 shares I had. The trade volume opposed it. And then, in the remaining 2 minutes, the system moved. Buyers won out. This was going to work. Right when I thought that, immediately on the screen, the margin debt balance decreased dramatically. My breathing stopped. What was displayed was that within the earlier trading, there were margin buyers within the ranks. And then, those total numbers exceeded the statistical error Hagana had mentioned. That was the conclusion I came to. Sell. We weren't the only ones who couldn't take it anymore. It was the margin buyers. What I was mumbling was wiped out by the roar of the demons in the last 2 minutes. The price had reached 912 mules, and finally the buyers who were waiting to sell off their shares went and sold it all with full force. 908, 905, 901, 891, 882, it accelerated vigorously. Down to 1 minute, no one could stop a small amount of buyers going in. The game was over. The countdown on the screen stopped, and it showed that it was 5 p.m. The price was 862 mules. My average stock unit price was, strangely enough, 862 mules. In other words, all of our trading was meaningless as our funds didn't even increase by 1 mule. The conclusion? Defeated. I mumbled quietly. The result was 260 million mules, second place. The prize money was 50,000 mules. At that moment, a popping sound reverberated, indicating that the mail had arrived at the computer. Perhaps it was a headhunting solicitation, but why now? I ignored it and stretched my arms. Next to me, Hagana looked dumbfounded. Couldn't be helped. Hagana's forecast was off. Hagana mumbled something, but only tears came out. While looking at the numbers on the screen of the stationary computer, she cried expressionlessly. but I had nothing I could say. Instead, I placed my hand on Nagana's head and patted it roughly. When she had been frightened and sobbing in her room, she was covering up her head frantically. Thus, I patted her on the head. Nagana did not move to cover up her head. She just continued to cry without a single word. I gave her head a final light pat and then stood up from the chair. I wanted a drink and I was tired. I also had to contact Barton. Giving a big stretch, I popped my joints. I could say that I didn't feel so upset about losing because it was all in an imaginary world. But probably more than anything else, it was from the sense of achievement of having come so far in lockstep with Agana. I made sure to remember that just doing something like that could fill one's heart. It wasn't a bad experience, not a bad one at all. Even as the ding-dong chime rang indicating the arrival of new mail, I decided this was the time to use the toilet. And then at that precise moment, the phone in the wall started to ring. Perhaps Lisa was calling to find out about the results of the contest. I laughed sarcastically to myself as I picked up the phone. Who is it? I expected to hear Lisa's high-spirited voice. For a brief moment, the voice on the other end sounded like noise. It's me, Siralt. What the heck? Looking for Lisa? I responded in annoyance as if he had ruined my expectations. Well, I was expecting Lisa too, but you guys have some free time, right? The way he said it almost seemed as if he knew about the investment contest. I believe that he did know about it, but did he really have that much interest in it? I guess. Well, in that case, I'm gonna head over. Huh? Wait, what's going on? I'll explain when I get there. Also, one more thing. Stroll stopped for a moment as he said that. How is Hagana doing? He really is a pedophile. He'd been babbling about how he got his hands on something with a girl who looked like Hagana. Perhaps it really was Hagana. I was a bit amazed thinking about this, but it wasn't as if I had little interest in the matter. It's pretty bad. I said that on purpose. That took Sorrel by surprise. I smiled bitterly as I wondered how much he was into Hagana. What I heard next froze that smile. Toyama is also coming along. Please take care of things. How? What? Hey, wait! Not hearing anything I said, Sorrel hung up the phone. Toyama? He's with Sorrel? At a loss, I looked at the silent phone. Maybe she had thought my conversation sounded strange. Hagana looked over while wiping tears from her eyes. Sorrel asked how you were doing. That was how I worded it. Hagana had a dubious expression on her face, much like I did, and answered. Not too bad. Hagana said that and sniffled loudly. It's my fault that we lost. How? I don't know. I put the phone back inside. Hagana was awkward. She was very obedient, but awkward. Actually, it doesn't bother me all that much. It isn't just because I had decided from the beginning that I would give all the prize money to you. It's something more simple than that. I was embarrassed and rubbed my nose as I spoke. Besides, wasn't it fun? Then I looked at Hagana. Hagana looked at me blankly, and then she started crying again. They didn't appear to be tears of disappointment, though. She smiled tearfully, so I knew those were tears of disappointment. Come on, how much more are you going to cry? I'm not crying. Hagana's smile disappeared as she said something absurd. I didn't feel like retorting, just shrugged my shoulders. Perhaps so, but we have guests coming. What are you going to do? Guests? Yeah, are you going to shut yourself up in your room? Depends on who it is. Hagana answered bluntly. I hesitated for a moment, but I felt that would be bad for her to just hide. Sorrel, and I don't want to see him. Toyama. At that last word, Hagana really stopped crying. Why? No, on the phone he didn't tell me why. The loan. We can pay it back, right? Easily. It'll be some time before the prize money is received. On the other hand, the interesting thing is that he was expecting Lisa, it seems. At those words, Hagana raised an eyebrow. I didn't have any idea what it meant either. What's going on? I don't know. Hagana wiped her eyes. Then, as if she were some transforming hero, her expression changed. But we'll know when we see them. Exactly. Agata had changed. It was probably for the better. Agata and I, without saying a word, sat at the table and drank hot cocoa. I don't remember who initiated it, but until the intercom rang, my hand was on top of hers under the table. When I let go, it felt a bit lonely. Yo. When I opened the church door, Cyril's big face was right in front of me. And then next to him, thin like a ghost with the only sign of life in his eyes, stood Toyama. When Toyama and Hagana stood face to face, neither of them looked upset. Toyama was no different from before, which meant Hagana was the one who had changed. Besides, it was more or less given that the loan could be repaid. Perhaps that understanding calmed her mind. So, what are you here for? Hagana and I sat side by side while Toyama and Siralt sat on the opposite side. Toyama held something that looked like an attaché case, while Siralt was empty-handed. You're not going to bring out some tea or something? Well, your shop is also self-serve, you know. That is true. Well, that's fine. There's something that needs to be discussed. Siralt looked at Toyama, who was next to him. I've already talked to Lisa about this, but... Toyama said. Hagana and I exchanged looks while Siralt scratched his head. Looks like she didn't talk to them about it. About what? Sorry about that. Toyama, if you will. Toyama nodded as if he were sighing. He opened the attaché case under the chair, pulled out a bag, and placed it on the table. The overpacked bag had a utilitarian design, with the sturdiness perhaps being the only selling point. There's 150,000 moles in here. Huh? I want you to make money, as much as you can with this amount. I couldn't imagine this being some kind of joke. However, I can only think of it as a joke as my eyes moved towards the bag Toyama took out. Toyama followed the movement of my eyes and opened the bag for me to see. When he turned it upside down, wrapped banknotes tumbled out. All of the bills looked well worn and were wrapped up with rubber bands. It was like a scene from a mafia movie. But this was reality, and without a doubt, that money was real. In times like this, I'm embarrassed by this money, but that's the nature of business. I hope you'll be understanding. No, wait just a moment. What's with this money? It's not dirty money. I know it looks bad. This is money I managed to scrape together one way or another. That's not what I mean. Toyama didn't flinch at my words at all before speaking. Have you not both taken money from my clients and made it grow? Those sounded like threatening words to me, but I had no intention of standing down to Toyama, and perhaps that was the fault of my determination. What? Something wrong with that? No, that's also a help to me, Toyama said. I more or less understand whether or not my clients will pay back their loans. Thus, through the grapevine, I heard about your exploits and wanted to support you both wholeheartedly. So you've decided you're going to join up with the dregs. In my words, Toyama laughed feebly. My philosophy is that I will loan out money even to those who I don't foresee being able to pay it off, so long as I can trust them. But I won't gamble. That is what I've decided. Stocks aren't about gambling. Ah, my apologies. I didn't intend to speak ill about it, but whether or not you two are able to grow the funds that you've gathered, is that not gambling? I could hear that was just a play on words, but it wasn't as if I didn't understand. In the beginning, in the case of Chris's parents, they wouldn't have come by to entrust Agata with their savings if they didn't know about her. So, since you hate gambling and all, why'd you come all this way with all that money then? I'll have him do the explaining. Toyama said that and looked at Siralt. Right, Siralt is here. Why was Siralt here anyway? You need me to do it? Please. Toyama looked as if his energy was completely sapped as he spoke. Siralt sighed and leaned forward on the table. You've heard about Lisa's debt, right? Yeah. That there was just a rumor. For someone as straight-laced as Lisa, she wouldn't have allowed that debt to persist. I figured something was up, so I did some searching. And then, suddenly, all the people around here started feeling the strain from debt, right? I thought that was kind of strange, so I called up Old Man Toyama here and we talked about it. He said that all in one breath. Old Man Toyama here is also in a bind. About that, I held back the words I already know as Sorrel's massive noggin moved closer. So you know about those guys behind the scenes as well. Behind the scenes? In the beginning, I thought I was just a simple debt collector. It was true that the nice guy who funded Toyama had died from disease, and relatives of his on Earth had sold that debt off to someone else. Maybe those guys living on Earth didn't think that they could collect debts from anyone on the moon on their own. The age of the orbital elevator was nothing to sneeze at. Had nothing else. The moon was famed for overflowing with the money of the deceased. If that were the case, there was nothing weird about signing off to someone in the business. But in that case, what's the problem? Well, the moon is a place to make money, after all. There are a lot of guys out there who are even sketchier than the ones you find back on Earth. I've had a company that I built up with my own hard work and determination taken away from me, and that desperation, Lisa had saved me. So said Sorrelt, a poor owner of a cafe on the outskirts of town whose impressive career was mentioned even by the cops. His programming ability was top tier and was able to fulfill all of Hagana's requests. Thus, my gut told me it all sounded fishy. So I checked up on the people pressing Toyama for money, and it was just as I had thought. It was a well-known land speculator. Land speculator? They aren't rare on Earth, and over on the moon in Newton City there's a whole bunch of them. For this area, they are still kind of rare. I don't really get what you're saying. A land speculator? That's someone who buys up land or buildings or something? What would someone do with buying up land in this poverty-stricken area? Faced with my dumbfounded expression, Sorrel spoke with gritted teeth. The Lunar City government had informal talks about the redevelopment plan. Once again, they weren't words I was expecting. My brain couldn't follow all that. On the lunar surface, there's development right now on a new city, and for the sake of maintaining dominance as the foremost city and center of the moon, redevelopment is a necessity and such. Well, in short, they want to take this decrepit place and make it shine, so that they won't be beaten by any new city. Naturally, there are a lot of interests tangled up in all this. But in that case, these debts have nothing to do with the rights to the land and property. Toyama spoke. Huh? The lunar surface is the frontier. Thus, there is a need for laws to be in place. This is the most important part of a vested. This is the most important of vested interest for a developer. Even if one were to own the land, if the people borrowing the land were to build upon it by their own ability, it would dare to say that city development would more likely support that of people who build their homes on that land. Rights are the same as that of the landowner, at least to that extent. On that note, there are a lot of homes that were built from scratch. Kid, you've seen it for yourself as you went around flying around, right? It seemed that he had seen me around somewhere. But I understood what he meant. In this area, there were nothing but buildings that were forcibly built up and complicated in their construction. Forget even trying to navigate through them. It seemed that there were many places where you couldn't tell where one home ended and another began. While the administration had flirted with the idea of forcibly seizing property, well, a lot of money would have to be paid to the right holders, or perhaps those people might be offered the rights to live there afterwards. But the problem is that people found out about this informal meeting, eyeing a possible increase in value and wanted to corner the market. So then, those are the guys that hold your debt? Yes, I was being targeted. At any rate, that is why money has been loaned out to those living in this neighborhood who are now likely not to return it. With these debts, without having to go knocking door to door and negotiate, dozens of properties for the most part can be seized, a cheaper way of doing things. When debts outweigh assets, that was to be expected, and thus with Toyama's foolhardy but kind-hearted manner of loaning out money, this had the reverse result. A tight-fisted moneylender would only lend out money to people who looked like they could return, and only as much as they could return. But for Toyama, if the client could be trusted, even exceeded their ability to pay it back, he was willing to be patient by having them only pay the interest. Certainly the borrower would be grateful afterwards. They probably just figured it was Toyama after all. If the borrowers knew from the beginning that their property would get wrapped up in it, it'd be the same as being strung up in the noose. This was especially dangerous given that a lot of them were slow-witted enough to not foresee that happening if they borrowed from Toyama. Thus they relaxed their guard. People like that with the noose tightening around their necks were this place will not be the same. Bluntly speaking, it will completely lose its identity. Beautiful shopping malls, beautiful residential units, beautiful roads. It would look like an extension of the White Belt, perhaps. Of course, it would be a lonesome sight. But what saddens me most is, after all that was done to support these people, without getting any fair payment, they are being forcibly evicted. I understood Toyama's exhaustion. Due to his well-meant loans, the nooses around the necks of those burdened by debt tightened. And then, due to how things were managed, when asked to pay back the funding, Toyama was unable to do so. They say the road to hell is paved with good intentions. The perfect example of that statement was right in front of me. If we can hold out until the decision on redevelopment happens, there won't be problems, as the administration will then get on board with negotiations. But if before that the creditors foresee an increase in value, then, using debt as a pretext, they could take everything from the people burdened with that debt for pennies. Take everything they have away, with only the debt left behind on top of not having a place to live anymore. Land speculators with the rights to the land and the debtors and significant property in hand would then wait to offer to help the administration gentrify things here. And then the shiny city will bestow upon the rights holders a rather large profit. Redevelopment also takes on the meaning of dividing up the wealth of the lower class. If you use taxes from big corps in Union City, breaking in the dough towards development, there's a missing space here. Even people living on the outskirts supporting the majority of Union City would benefit. But if the land speculators were to have their way with things, in the end, all this will consist of only the rich getting richer. You come from the east, right? Sorrel looks straight at me. Around where you're from, weren't there people who came to the moon after having been displaced by greater powers back on Earth? Weren't there, he said. My mind was filled with both anger and amusement. It was nothing but those kinds of people. It was only those kinds of people. Lisa is no exception either, so it isn't right for this to happen again. This is the moon, the frontier. Those who exert effort must be rewarded. Sorrel leaned forward as he said that. The atmosphere is no longer the same as that of his dull attempts to show off. Sorrel had once come from Earth and pursued success on the moon, and the merciless power of this city took everything away from him. My glance moved from Sorrel to the bag that Toyama had brought in. Dirty banknotes had fallen out of that bag. Those dirty banknotes were carefully folded up by respectful people. You have the funds gathered from others, that and this 150,000 moles. If I have 800,000 moles gathered together, the seed money can be paid back. In doing so, the people here in this town will be able to keep hold of what they have. The people who have endured Earth and come here to endure this will finally be rewarded. Toyama spoke with a fervor. Beyond their actual appearance, the banknotes in front of me overwhelmed me with what they represented. The money at our disposal was 500,000 moles. Adding 150,000 moles to that put us at 650,000 moles. It was less than 30% to get to 800,000 moles. Numerically, it isn't impossible, I believe. I should say that I understand the money that you've gathered from others is everything they have. Thus, were you to be near 800,000 moles, it wouldn't be enough. Living expenses. For the folks running a business, there were operating costs. For the infirm, there were medical costs. And for those living with children, there were educational costs. The ones wanting to collect on these debts are approaching in force, but I think we should be able to hold out for a month. I wish for you to grow those funds. %, or maybe at least 50%. I looked at Agana and she pursed her lips together as she looked at the banknotes on the table. It's possible that she saw in it the irrationality of society. What's the deadline? I asked a much more important question. Agana's pale complexion stiffened. Nearby, Sorrel also looked downcast. I had a bad feeling about this. In the beginning, I'm intending on holding off the assault of the people pursuing me to pay back the seed money. Saying that, he picked up a piece of paper from the attaché case. It seemed old-fashioned in an era where electronic agreements were the norm, but perhaps that's why it carried such a strong air of intimidation. It was written in a business-like style, with a government endorsement on it. If involved in repeated debt defaults, immediate repayment is requested. The individual who loaned me that money was really an easygoing person. If you can help others with 800,000 moles, then just say the word and I'll loan it to you at once. And no matter how many times the repayment period is exceeded, I'd write up a new contract with updated terms. But the history remained. Before long, I was a no-good debtor. To do that in front of the courts, I would have no choice but to present this certified document. In other words... If repayment is not made within the span of a week, my assets will be seized. The assets in Toyama's possession include just about the entirety of the townspeople's debts. In an instant, the person holding the ropes around the people's necks will change from the kind-hearted Toyama to a money-monger. 1 week? In 1 week? Why'd you say that earlier? If that were the case, it would have postponed the investment contest. I stopped in mid-sentence as I remembered Srald's words. When this conversation first started, he had said that it appeared that Lisa hadn't talked to us about it yet. Lisa knew about it. She knew about it all along. Don't blame Lisa for this. Srald said that right off the bat. We talked to Lisa about it repeatedly. Things would be bad if we waited too long, and that things could not be undone if someone didn't act. But Lisa stubbornly wouldn't agree to that. She said that if I were to go to you and why does her name give me such trouble? I mean, we're at part 12 and I still have trouble saying it. If I were to go to you and Hagana to talk about it, then she'd really get mad. Why? I don't get it at all. You two really were in a trance, right? Srald's pained expression pierced my chest. I thought back to the time I'd spent together with Hagana. That was, without a doubt, a warm and wonderful time. Lisa is that kind of person. She can't be influenced by things. Instead, she cares more about the connections between people. With the exception of books, probably, but I think she's probably going to sell those books. What? She's that kind of person. Even if she no longer had a place to live, clothes to wear, or things to eat, she can still find a way to continue to live in happiness. She really believes that. Lisa said that it was after many friends and family lost everything in a conflict zone that she walked that narrow path and managed to reach the moon. Is there not something that we can do? We can give up money, but we can't give up these crossed paths, she would say. Lisa didn't want to get in the way of you two. There was nothing I could say. I didn't have any words that were ready to go. Good intentions. This was a good intention. Paved with good intentions, this road led to hell. That is why we waited up until now. It is tearing me up inside. You can see that in Toyama. Toyama, who looked like a zombie before, was now completely a mummy. It wasn't just Toyama's own assets. He was burdened with the fate of others. But with 1 week, you two should be able to do something, right? At the very least? That is what Srald said. This was a much more reasonable way to go rather than for us to go to the casino. And in case you're not familiar with that reference, I think it's FedEx that had this problem. They had a fleet of jets and they couldn't afford fuel for it. The company was on the verge of bankruptcy, so the CEO took all their money, went to the casino, and won big enough to actually keep it going, and the company is still alive today. So that casino thing, it may seem like a bit of an off joke, but that actually is a reference, a historical one. Not exactly something I'd recommend, but if you're that desperate, it might be the only thing you have left. Given the situation, they were willing to go that direction. True, it wasn't impossible. Still, the virtual marketplace in the investment contest is one thing. But being able to make a 50% profit in 1 week on the actual market? Of course, theoretically it wasn't impossible. It wasn't out of the question to hit 50% mark in a single day. However, 650,000 moles in total funds was an unwieldy amount. Worse than that, were we to fail, it wouldn't just be our failure. But I couldn't choose not to do it. No matter what, that wasn't possible. you take up this task? I opened my mouth. However, no words came out. No way that they would. This was a serious discussion, not a comfortable situation where it would be held against us if we lost. We hadn't gathered simple naive hopes from these people, people with nowhere else to turn. It was a far more serious act of resistance against the continued rational system brought from Earth. There's no one to turn to other than the two of you. Please. Toyama placed his hands on the table and lowered his head, Japanese style. Perhaps he had researched that as a child of Japanese immigrants. Even then, I couldn't bring up the courage. But just then, something warm was placed on top of my hand. It sent a shock through me as I looked to my side. It couldn't have been anyone else. Hagana. Hagana glared at me firmly with those energy-filled, deep black eyes of hers. Hal said it to me. Then her lips moved and she said it precisely. It's not whether or not it can be done. I squeezed Hagana's hand. But keep going until it works. Hagana was silent. After a moment she nodded. Yes. So, I tried desperately not to tear up for fear of Toyama raising his head and catching me. So I doubled my effort to keep a stoic face as I spoke. We'd better be properly compensated for all this. Toyama's exhausted face managed to smile. I'll throw in a generous amount of interest. And with that, all of us were now in the same boat. Afterwards, when Serald was about to leave, he reminded me about Lisa. But I had no intention of blaming Lisa for this. Same with Hagana. That was why, in case Lisa was waiting outside for us to finish talking and came home with an innocent look on her face, Hagana and I wouldn't say anything in particular. The cash Toyama had brought was still here, so what happened here was obvious. But while we ate dinner as we always did, I want to report that we had lost at the investment contest. Lisa would smile and say, "That's too bad." I would take out the 50,000 rubles in prize money. After reporting that the debt had been paid, she would look a bit uncomfortable, but smile and say thank you. Hagana and I did not discuss this at all. What needed to be done and how was completely decided. In that case, all that was left was to do it. To keep going until things went right. But for me, there was also the situation with Barton. Hidden from Hagana, I steadily looked over the mail from Barton and my eyes darted over the contents. There were comforting words congratulating me on a second-place finish. Moreover, there were words praising the rather impressive judgment in each successive trade regardless of the result. After that, there were words confirming that what we discussed before. I hesitated for a brief moment before I wrote in response in one stroke. I certainly want to take you up on that offer, but I'd like just a bit more time. Barton's reply came swiftly. Was there a problem? I reported that there was a problem that I had to resolve at all costs. His response was received about 2 minutes later. In proportion to the time, it was perhaps the shortest response thus far. More than happy to assist at any time. Thank you very much, I responded, with sincerity to those words.